Now I'm going to try to do this again. Yeah, we'll see what happens. And it should be popping on. There we go, over here on the YouTube side. There we go. Okay, so that's on. All right. So anyway, all I'm doing is I'm adding some the landing and the steps that'll access it. And then these will be the support beams that'll go up alongside. Hey, I got my first comment. Thanks, Rysem. Rise Dem Design. Cool. So I switch camera angles instead of looking down. I'm trying to look from the side just so that it can be a little easier seeing what I'm doing. And put these, running these steps right up the side to the landing. And of course, none of this has been weathered. This is all the prep work that goes into these things. And shoot this on this over the side. And I like using the gel. This is the Gorilla Glue gel that I use. I enjoy using the gel on some of this that doesn't need to set up in an instant. I do have the thin stuff, and this is the regular Gorilla Glue that sets up pretty quick. I prefer the Gorilla Glue over the Zap-A-Gap that's available at the Hobby Towns. And it's worked out well for me over a number of years now. And it's usually a couple dollars cheaper. I'm not knocking Zap-A-Gap. I used to use that habitually, but kind of got burned out on the cost and sometimes the limited availability that seemed to run rampant when you could go to Lowe's or Home Depot and pick this up for $5, $6, $7. And you would think that, 0.71 ounces, which is just over a half an ounce, wouldn't last very long, but it does actually. So I'm going to just take these little boogers, and these are going to be the faux supports. And just glue them to the side. Like so. And I cut 4 because I want to put them up close to the corners. And I know they're a little bit too long, but we'll get to that soon enough. And this is why I like working with the low setting time of this glue. You can adjust it in, your pieces in, and get them to line up a little bit while that glue is in the process of setting up. But once it's set, it's strong. Then we'll put this last little piece on the edge over here. And that goes in like so. Yeah, Josh, this is an HO scale kit, which is 1/87 scale. And I've been building a few of these. This is a rebuild of one that I'd already done because we moved and a bunch of stuff got messed up and wrecked and crushed or whatever. And this happened to be one of them. So I'm just reworking it. I ordered a new kit. And got this one the last week, I think. And I've been working on it. Hey, Dumpster, go ahead and jump up if you feel like it. I put the link up top there. Hope it works. I'm kind of new to this, so bear with me if things don't work too well for whatever reason. And then, next I'm going to be putting these side supports up and angle them down. But I got to get these cut down first. So I'm letting that glue set up for a little longer. And while it's doing that, while that's setting up, I better put a little drop of glue on the base down there for that back piece. It seemed like it just flat doesn't want to hold up all that great. That one's sitting down. There we go. That's much better. Yeah, the HO scale is 1/87. That's the railroad stuff. Yes. And well, shoot, I can put it into a little bit of perspective for you here real quick. And get one of these out. Okay, here's a quarter. Josh, there's a quarter to give you a sense of scale as to how big this is. And usually I shoot a few pictures when I get closer to completion that have got the comparison with the quarter in the picture. Josh, you can jump up here if you want to. I think the link's still up there at the top. Okay, now while that's drying, I'll show you another tool, and I'll be using that here, as a matter of fact, is this little booger right here. This is, I don't know if you can see that or not. This is a nail decorator. And what it does is it's got a bunch of little attachments that just pop in and out of the tip like that. I use this most of the time, so I just leave it in there. And this thing comes in so handy for doing little stuff like this. And it spins at a pretty good rate of speed. You know, it'll burn anything up. Oh, okay, Josh, that's cool. But this is used for shaping. I don't need to use these things for nails, but the better half's daughter was over here doing her fingernails one day and was using this thing, and I thought, man, that would be a good little item to use on models. And surprisingly enough, they got me this thing for a Christmas present, and it just runs on a couple of AA batteries that last. I've had this 2 years and haven't changed the batteries. So that's how long those will last. Those are Duracell, so they should last quite a while. And we'll just get in here. Oh, that just popped off on me. No biggie. Probably didn't wait long enough for the glue to set up. We'll redo that. And it, Josh, I use a lot of stuff that's out of the box from the modeling world, like this tool here that I use for some of the paper decals. This is a cuticle tool from a beauty supply shop, and it's got a hard plastic tip on one end and then a softer rubber tip on the other. And this is great for setting in smaller decals, lining them up right before you press them down. And not only does it work well with these paper ones that I use on here, but it works well on other models too. And this cost me, it was like 89 cents at a beauty supply store. I've got two of them. The other one's back there someplace. Because you can't have too many tools. And with the price of models and stuff these days, you know it's good to look for something that's a little on the cheap. Now I can do this the right way. Come in here with some snips, snip the tops of these off. Hey, Josh, anytime's good. Just let me know. I'll be happy to join up. Now, we're back to the nail decorator tool. Obviously, I'm not going to use it on nails. And this is... Noisy little booger, isn't it? And I get that one as close as I thought I did. And no big deal. Just get the snips out again, pop it a little closer. Now we can get it down there. Oh, little booger just does not want to stick, so I'm going to do this first. Hit it with that. Put a little more glue on it. Okay, Josh. Hey, let me know when you want to do that. Meet the modeler. I can jump up sometime and do that. Let that set up. Okay, so for the side braces, just going to take a quick measurement, mark it with a pencil. Cut with an X-Acto knife. And then we're good to go to get these lined up. And again with the glue. What did I do, Rick? Did I bore you to tears? Get that lined up nice and neat. And remember, this is a 40s, 50s kind of building that I'm working on. So it doesn't have to be dead on accurate. I want it to look a little worn out. I want it to look weathered. I want it to look aged. I don't want it to look brand spanking new. I'm going to do this side. And a little bit of glue there. A little bit of glue on this part. And you'll notice that when I get to the weathering part of this, that some of that shininess that you see, or the basic the colors that are right here that are solid, that's all going to change, and it'll look like it's seen some rain and some wind and some sun. And okay, now we've got that. Now what this kit came with, these are the guardrails. And they give you more than, man, that's what I like about these GL Innovative things. They really give you more than enough to work with. And then these are laser cut out of basswood. And these are the rails that will be at the top of the stairs. But I'm going to try to focus on getting this up. And I'm not all that concerned with this being white. Now this did start off as black plastic, and I don't know why they use black plastic. Probably cost. But in any case, I gave it a primer coat of flat white. I prefer flat white on a lot of these. It has a tendency of gripping whatever paint you put on it a little bit better. If you use a gloss paint, it just doesn't seem to have the texture to hold other paints in place as well as flat colors do. And this you get lined up to how much you want to use. Excuse me. I think right about there looks good. We're just going to pop in here and snip that off there and there. We get the X-Acto knife again. You have that little nub of quick trim. And a quick sand. Quicksand, there you go. And then I can glue this into place. And again, I'm a little over zealous with the glue to a certain degree for right now. And I'm not concerned with the overage of glue because this is going to get weathered in and won't be noticeable anyway. And we hold that in place for a few minutes. And that's going to set in place right just like that. Then next up, are the guardrails or railings, whatever you want to call them. That will go up on the balcony. There's railing number 1, and it'll sit up right here. And then the number 2 railing. And the 3rd one. It's actually got one side is a little wider than the other one. So I'm putting the wider side towards the building and towards the steps. Well, That's never good. Drop a piece. Yeah, let's drop a piece. And I'm putting the longer piece onto the outside rail. Because this one needs to line up over here. And since I'm going to have a little bit of extra, hanging off just a hair, that's going to have to get cut. Oh, we get this glued in place first. On these spots. And then we get some of this glue to move a little bit. Now, I'm not going to do any painting on this right away because I want to give that glue plenty of time. And anybody that's used super glue such as this knows, and I mean anybody that says that they haven't done it, and that you get in a little bit of a hurry to paint, you start painting, and lo and behold, your brush gets coated in the glue, and you end up with a messed up paintbrush. And frankly, at the cost of some of these little dudes, that's not a good thing. So I'm going to end this live stream here with that, and we'll do another one, or I'll be posting more videos about this a little bit later on. And hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. And we'll catch you guys later.